So you must be old then? Glimpo asked, looking up at the human with awe. There were only stories and fairy tales of races living as long as the human was saying. Oh boy, I do feel old. I turned 30 only last month. 30? Glimpo tilted his head, letting his ears flop in confusion. But you said you were amongst those who first found us? Oh. I'm sorry, I meant years. Years? Glimpo heard a ping from his data slate, revealing it meant roughly 12 clocks. Glimpo felt his heart rate quicken as he did the maths. So you are 361 clocks. The entire party of diplomats froze in shock, looking at the human, a being older than many of the nations they called home. You mean this youngster is actually older than I am? The old member of the group asked, trembling. It was a common point amongst their race that with age comes wisdom, and with wisdom comes the right to rule. Well. I mean, when you put it like that, I guess so. How old are you, Glimpo? You must be a few years old. I would be roughly 2 of your human years. 2, so the eldest of your number is? Roughly 7 by your years, the old member declared. Wow, no wonder your race kept changing the diplomats we were talking with. We kept thinking we were doing something wrong. I will need to have a word with our data team about this one. But to think your race ages at this rate, though it would explain your broadcasts. Broadcasts? Yes. The first thing we detected about your world was broadcasts. We thought it was a translation error, a malfunction, or even interference that made it run at a faster rate. But to think you live your lives faster than imaginable. Human, are you an old member of your race? Glimpo asked, hoping the human was just a very old member. Me? Oh no. I still have my grandparents. Grandma, though, is more machine than Nan these days. But she celebrated her 90th. Oh, over 1,000 clocks. So many generations with one being. Heh, the human began before pausing, feeling the awkward atmosphere descending. Guess we are your equivalent of elves, then. Elves? Glimpo repeated, hoping for a reprieve. Yeah, back on our world, we have a story about a race of beings called elves. They looked just like us but had pointed ears and lived millennia. The data slates all pinged, and the delegates all paled. Seeing the word meant 1,000 iterations of a year. But you don't need to worry. They are all just fairy tales and stories. All due respect human. A being living as long as you do to us would be from stories and myths for us. How confident are you they aren't out there? Well, bugger guess we will need to look into the possibility of space elves. Just hope they aren't the Warhammer kind.